Hello, mtswadi wa ka potso ke ena. How do we make sure that our children and learners stay motivated during exams? Yeah, especially in Akonyana Jwale, we know they are writing exams and they're busy. There's a lot of things that they look at. There's too much pressure, they feel overwhelmed, we know about that. Not in the previous video, how they can manage their time during exams. But now today, how do we make sure they stay motivated throughout their exams? Because we want to make sure that they keep that fire burning, because we know kana go molona lutima tholo moya wa ning tholo rena plan hore expectation ya subject ngitseng una to thola di marks tse itseng ka bona to performa jwang tholo ha etsa mai ka mfona lebeletse ka teng be moya wa fatshe. But we want them to sort of keep that fire burning, because we know how writing exam is like it's like running that long race. You are in a marathon, or you are not even sure now. But we want to keep that fire burning. We want to make sure that we support them. We want to make sure especially we want them to finish strong, because sometimes in a lot of especially babang like I learn to timetable high but I litanyana to hana the break in between ha qala ka mantaha throughout the week from Monday to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at least Saturday, Sunday, and happy Monday. So babang tolori timetable abo never be dedicated, but we want them to keep motivated, even though they may not be while they are still writing. So because it's okay to feel tired, because sometimes they'll feel tired, and it's also okay to feel unsure, because sometimes we live in those world where there's a lot of uncertainty. So again, we know true champions get back up and then they finish strong. This is what this video is all about. How do we keep them motivated so that they finish strong? And then also, how do they respond when things don't go their way? Because we know so some of the tools telling home they can help them to stay motivated. The first one is positive talk. Positive self-talk. There's things because remember now, and when I'm all the exam, mostly support because we want to use words that like kind words, encouraging words of wisdom, are motivate, are inspire. I can do this. Let's keep on they can do this thing and they are in control. And then in words like I've prepared well, you've done your part. When the part high, you studied, now go and finish on a high note. So that's what we want. And also to remind them to focus on their goal. We want to remind them why, what are the reasons they are studying, why are they studying, that goal, the ultimate goal. Because remember, the ultimate goal is not just to get a matric, but there's something big waiting for them after the exam. Even grade 8 to 12, because we need to always have a goal in mind. This is why I always recommend coaching and mentoring, because this is where we talk about their goals. This is where we paint a bigger picture for them. It's only about mola exam and then we pass. But there's something big that is waiting for them on the other side. They have to go through this pain of studying. They have to go through this pain of writing exam. But then there's something big. There's a reward. There's a big reward waiting for them. So we need to so if let's say on a play let's go to 80%. Happy. Another reason could be they want to make mommy proud or daddy proud. They want to make the parents proud. I know I've got a similar situation. My daughters most of the time have a mola. They always refer, we want to make you proud, daddy. We want to make when we want to make you guys proud. And then also to paint to now has a exam. what will life look like, after ba se ba ngotse. The environment, but what you know how so positive results out when people are about share about hey ngwanaka o sebeditse hey ka nnete ngwanaka bona hona le moria, those words they were encouraging so that they can already feel ha se ba qetile ngola ba sebeditse hantle, what will the world and the environment ba phelang yona look like. The things they love about batho ba di bua ha ba sebeditse, we need to have a hope and paint that picture as well. And also ba hopotse they must also stay calm under pressure, because remember now there's always a pressure that comes with the exam. So we want them to they should not panic. If the exam is tough, let's say the first 15 minutes, 10 minutes, if I want to understanding, they should not panic, but they should, go through the whole paper, but check it on because remember the whole idea is to collect the marks. Even those little ones, 50% or 60% collective. Alright. Also, it's important also to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Hold on. That has always helped me and stay calm. So one test that doesn't define their future, we must remind them about that, and also to learn from each paper, because we want to help them understand how they must use mistakes to improve, so that but that's what possible on that day, so that next time on the next one we improve on those mistakes. And then also to write when they did them well, so that they take note of the things they learn by the hand. So that's how we learn, that's how we improve. Because learning begins when the moment you realize this is something but this is how I corrected it, and then this time it worked. So that is when learning happens. So another thing maybe they must also write the things that they can do better next time for the next exam or the next subject at take note of these things so that for the next one. All right. And also another thing important, obviously they learn from each paper. It's very, very important, but again to reward themselves. They reward themselves for celebrating the process. Sometimes we wait until they start to celebrate the outcome, but we want them to learn to celebrate how much they handled today. Yeah, but we're talking about something small to enjoy, like maybe akamamela mino nyana, mhlomong aka stretch nyana body, aka relax nyana hanyane, akashabela video nyana for. But we need to manage time. Remember, we need to manage time. I enjoy the whole day. But 30 minutes, I break it down into 10 minutes, just to reward themselves, to say maybe sometimes even a good snack can do, those little things. But it's important to how we enjoy or something celebrate. I've done well, so now this is a way more reward. All right. And then when things go as don't go as they plan, what are the things one of them they must tell themselves not to give up. We must also encourage them not to give up. They must just shake it off, I'm hella, today it was not the way, but you don't give up, you push on. Also, we remind them that they must focus on the next coming paper, so that it's no longer in your control, it's now beyond your control. Right? So also not to compare their answers with others, because now we in Shapile. Yeah, I lose the 5 marks in one, but hey, not to focus a lot on now asking right? Also to trust their own effort. Sometimes they are making an effort, but they must trust their effort. Le rona re tla re encourage they are doing the best they can. You know, I don't think kunale muthu ka yang classing exam room alongola, but ayaka intention ya lo fail. We always have got good intention and they try their best. Okay, so again, also not to lose focus. We must also remind them not to lose focus, because one tough exam does not really rain the week. They shouldn't allow mantaha subject mantaha usually affect everything at lang beginning of fail. Okay, and the whole idea is for them to bounce back. Because we want them to come back stronger on the next one. Okay, so I hope you got value up to this point. Remember to share this video with Batswadi Baba so that okay, and then from there, as I conclude, exam usually they test their attitude, they test their discipline, they test their courage. So every exam, it's also testing their preparation if they prepared well. So if you fall behind, you can always rise again. So that's another thing you must always remind them. If today or subject you can always rise and pick up the pieces and move on. So that's what we want them to know. Even in life, things will happen that way. Not all the time really smooth. Kai utla into side but because what is more important, how did you rise? So real win start in their mindset. They win the moment they start to grow, to be more positive, in terms of their mindset. They think they look body because they affect everything. So we want to make sure that we start reminding them about the things they look in so that they rise again, because the mindset is very, very important. And then also we must also remind them to believe in themselves, but believe everything it's good. Because it's important that they believe in themselves, because belief is everything. The moment I believe those negative or limiting beliefs, because we want to avoid and eliminate the limiting beliefs as much as we can. So we want to make sure that they stay positive, they talk about themselves positively, and they believe in themselves. They believe they can do it. They believe exam is mainly to test their discipline, their courage, their preparation, and their understanding, but does not define their future. All right, and also they must stay calm, right, and then also they must keep showing up. Today let's focus on the next one. Okay, and let's help them to finish strong. The whole idea is to finish strong, one subject at a time. Focus on today. If you did well, good. If you did not do well, it's fine. But if you did, there's nothing you can do about that one. We focus on the next coming subject. You got some value on this video. Let's go and help our children so that they stay motivated. It's very, very important. And also, as I close, help them to find the things they learn, the uplift mood wabona. Ikaba a song, I ratang, whether ki piano, whether ki deep house, or ki bana barata music mungata. But let's identify king a uplift mood wabona. And then from there we use that as part of motivation. Sometimes it could be a good snack. Urata chocolate, umurata mazimba, umurata wakantunyana tsutsinyanya. Sports, so nening has role model for 5 minutes. That thing Leona seems like yasebeta. On social media, amamela, they are inspirational. Role model eating, mamela motivational talk. So make sure today as part of your task go and ask Mwana how getting a uplifter mood when things are not going well, so that we use that as part of somewhere. hopefully got value on this video. Next sabati be telele mara sometimes taba tsena na tlamne re dintse. So please remember to share this video, le batswadi ba bang, like it and subscribe to this channel so that every time I get a video you'll be notified. Ka o tshojwa le motswadi wa ka, bye bye.